Hello, everyone. I'm Trixie. I am your host for this podcast, and there is also.
Timothy or Tim. We are here to talk about your daily social encounters, relationship problems, and EQ dramas.
Yeah, we are here to spill the hot tea, the cold tea, the herbal tea, all the teas.
Yes, and today I thought, based on when we're uploading this, it may be already a new year or coming into a new year. So I thought it would be an amazing thing to talk about first dates, or at least,
First dates.
and this is something we can start with. Yeah, first dates, um, cool things you can do, or I feel like the first dates is one of the most, for some people, the scariest thing in the world, especially if you're like super young. So I thought
Okay.
we can talk about some of the weirdest first date encounters, techniques, and you know what? If you're open to it, experiences.
Okay, since you're talking about dates,
First dates, first dates.
well, dating in general, when
Okay.
when did you go to your first ever date?
Huh.
What age?
Okay. I believe I was 14. I believe
14?
I believe I'm 14. Yes.
Wow. My first date was like when I was 18 or 19.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh.
I've only started dating like when I was in between. So I think 19. So like in between um my A levels finishing, waiting for university.
Mhm.
Then that's when I actually went for a first date because my family is very 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 strict and traditional, and then you know the usual Asian family when the parents were like, don't start dating when you are in school, don't you would be distracted, don't no dating, no dating, no dating, and then the moment you go to university or you finish university, then it's like, a girl, why you not married yet? Why you no boyfriend? It's just like, dude, I I am a product of your failure.
No, everyone has different. I call it different periods and eras of the relationship and the dating life. For
Yeah.
me, I'm quite similar in the sense. I believe my family wasn't very big on it, but I personally just like the idea. So I think there's a lot of like secret relationships and everything. So yeah, 14 was, I guess, like my first attempt. I mean, we all
Okay.
have crushes at various ages, young and old and current. But yeah, I believe this first relationship for me was like a real attempt. And yeah, it was pretty strange how it happens actually. I am
Okay.
still very surprised how it happened till this day. I Well, okay, why I brought it up is because I wish I knew these techniques now. This is the hindsight talk.
Okay.
So basically, I had a close friend back then in school. 14, I'm like secondary 2,
Yeah.
or for translation, that's grade 8, I think. For
No, grade 9.
9. Okay, sorry, grade
Yeah,
9
grade
or second year of secondary
7, 8.
school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Second year of middle school.
yeah. See, I was right. Yeah, 8.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, and okay, yeah. So we basically were close, but then this close friend I always hang with had like a friend that kind of like entered, and I don't know. I guess love at first sight. We both saw each other and we're like, oh, like, hey, we exist, and we
Okay.
just started hanging out more and talk more, and weeks goes by. We started getting crazily close, but our mutual friend, my close friend and her close friend, it's like always there. So we
Okay.
never we never basically figure out if it was okay. But I think at some point I asked her out and I told her like, we don't need to invite that close friend.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah,
oh,
let's because I
oh.
think that's my shy. Oh, back then I was super shy, but
Okay.
I think we both were secretly trying to figure out like, were we interested in each other?
Okay. I'm so interested because like I think I'm someone who's not, in a way I'm quite secure of myself. and it's like dating is not something that it's very important for me. And I think also like I grew up knowing and seeing a lot of failed relationship and marriage also. So like dating is just like thing um for me. And then like, I have family members who are or some people around me who are family lawyers. So it kind of like solidify my like idea of what a relationship or marriage is like. So it's like it's not something that is super high up in my, in my like I have to do it, or like it's
Right.
it's a thing that uh that I need to do, because like for whatever reason I don't judge. Because like I have friends who are always constantly, I've never known this friend to be single because they needed a relationship to feel companionship. They don't like the feeling of being lonely. And that's completely fine, but I just never had like the, like the urge to be in a relationship. I fantasize about my ideal relationship before. I have crushes, but I don't have relation like wants to be in a relationship. So whatever you're telling me is so interesting because
Really.
it's like something that I don't really talk
Which is
about also
funny.
with my friends.
It's funny you say that because I believe when I was this young, I wasn't like hellbound on getting the relationship. I think it's just, I think the school I was in was just, it felt like if you were interested in someone or something, you should just try. And there was a lot of that.
Okay.
There was a lot of that. Like I think a lot of people start a relationship in that era just to like figure out if your crushes are the one, I guess, or that
Okay, yeah.
fantasy romance. For me, I think it's just a little bit of fantasy romance because I was quite into like all the romance drama and everything from that age
Yeah.
already.
Me
So
too.
yeah. So I
But for
was like,
me,
you know
I've
what?
always thought of it as like fantasy. It's like not
A
real.
little bit. I think a little bit of that. I think I oh man, I really wish I remembered like the true feeling I felt, but I think I just liked talking to her and I just felt very
Yeah.
comfortable around her, which is weird
Okay,
because she just
okay.
popped in. You know, it's like
Oh,
never
like
seen her.
love at first sight.
Yeah. What's
Oh,
funny? What's funny is she told me, I think when we first talking, that she never dates anyone younger than her.
okay. It sounds like, are you talking about me?
No, no, don't
Because
God.
I said the same
The
thing to you.
world isn't revolve around you, Trixie.
Okay, to clarify to the viewers, we are not dating, we're just friends.
No,
Okay,
we
we're
are
just
not. We're
really
not.
close friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she told me that, and I don't know. In my head, I guess, I was like, okay, but okay. The general rule why this thing was strange, and maybe it pivoted the way I perceive romance from the future. Her condition, we talk about it, and she told me like there is like one specific condition, and people she basically told me this. There's a condition, and a lot of guys stop here, and it's
Which
basically
is,
um before we go on our first date, you have to ask her mom's permission.
okay, but I suppose you were like in secondary school, so it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So turns out like that has been like the biggest like roadblock for a lot of people. Because according to her, a few guys have tried to court her, and it just
Get
ends there.
the mother-in-law's approval. Okay, okay.
No, it's the fear of calling. I don't think they don't
Ah,
call. Yeah.
okay.
So for me, this 14-year-old version was like, oh, how bad can it be? You know, so she gave me the number, and I was like, yeah, I'll sort it out. Yeah, I wasn't worried until I was in my room, and I don't know why. I guess I did it like in the afternoon, but my windows were like drawn, my curtains was like um giving this very dark lighting. So
Okay.
I punched in the number, and then it hit me as I tried to bring the phone to my ear. My hands was already shaking, and I was like,
Oh
"Oh
no.
wait, this is a lot more
Oh
big deal than it is."
no. Okay, so it's the nerves. Okay,
Oh
but
yeah,
that
yeah, it suddenly
actually
kicked
was a
in.
very smart way of the girl to like to see, to like, what's it called, quality check,
Yeah,
like
a
see
little bit.
through all the bad guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I guess she was looking for a particular kind of qualities. I guess bravery is one of them.
yeah.
So yeah, so I just called, but you know my hand. I remember this. I remember my hand was like, ooh, it was like having an earthquake. And then the ringer went a while, and I was like, okay, maybe you know what? Maybe
Oh
it's not meant to
no.
be. And then she picked
Yeah.
up, and I have to make sure I don't sound like I'm a trembling mess. So I
Yeah.
believe I can't remember the whole conversation, but I believe it went like, hey, I introduced myself, and I told her like, hey, I wanna ask your daughter out. I won't say her name, but I don't think I want to say her name
Oh
for like.
no, it's almost like, hey, I just met you
No.
and this is crazy.
I think I
But
was a little bit more
here's my
formal.
number.
Like I actually asked her like how should I address her mom, and then I think
Auntie.
no. She's
Oh, it's like Mrs. or ma'am.
yeah, it was like I think it was like
Wow, that's so
Mrs.
formal.
Surname, and yeah, and I believe. Ooh, I'm a little shaking now that talking about this because it was the nerve is like PTSD a little. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
told her straight. I told her straight and almost like a whole sentence was like, hey, I'm this and that. I'm from like I wanna ask her daughter out, and then I didn't get an immediate no because she went, okay, where are you going?
Ooh.
And she's like, okay, where are you going? And I believe it was dinner. I think we decided to watch movie later, but it was like after the dinner. But it's
Okay.
like a dinner
So do you
date.
have a chaperone?
Yeah. And like, I told her like, hey, dinner, I'll come pick her up. And she's like, oh, and what time do you plan to bring her back? I was like, oh, we were thinking about 8. Or if we wanna watch a movie, we'll be back by like 10 or 11. And she was like, okay, what else did she say? And she says like, where specifically? So I just told her all the details. Basically, she just wants to know what's happening. And
Yeah.
I told her like, I think the last line was like, oh hey, I will bring her back, safe and sound.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Unharmed.
so cute.
Yeah. Obviously, my head is still like. I think I was sweating too. I remember I was sweating too, like
I'm
in
sure.
my aircon room sweating.
That's so funny because like um I don't do that on dates, okay? But then like when I was younger, my mom, because like I said, my parents are very strict.
Mm.
So um whenever I bring a friend home, rather, my mom would always like ask the friend, okay, do you have you told your parents? Do you tell your parents where you're going and blah blah? And then sometimes she would just do the spot check and she'll call the parents. Like she's like, okay, you just dial in your number, I'll just check with your parent. And after a while, my mom actually made me do the call. She's like, yeah, your friend wants to come over. I'm allowing your friend to come over, but you must get the parents' consent. So there was once I remember very vividly that I was going to pass the phone to my mom. My mom's like, nah, I'm not talking to your friend's parents. And I was the one doing that. Hello, auntie. Yeah, can my friend come over? Like, we'll be here until I'll make sure they leave
Yeah, and there's a lot of
they leave my house at
reassurance.
7 p.m. or like 6 p.m. or before dinner, which is like sometimes 5:30 or 5. Um, and yeah, and then this is my number. You have my word that they'll be leaving this place at this time, and then approximately from my house uh to your house it would be like 10 minutes walk. So by like 5:10, your kid will be home. And after a while, my friends calls me like Trixie's mom.
Oh, I don't
But
know. I think
yes,
calling parent at that young of an age can be quite intimidating.
daunting. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, but and if anyone needs to know, my that first girl that I dated, the mom said approved. She said, okay, sure,
Okay.
yep, approved. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. I really want to end that call so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. But
and yeah.
so wait, so how does this link back to your strange first date techniques that
Oh,
works?
Well, we'll get there eventually, but I believe this is just. Let me. The conclusion of the story is she said yes. I just told
Okay.
her like I texted her like say, hey, I got your mom's approval, and she was super surprised. And I think,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think I earned like 5 brownie points. Like that was the
Yeah.
step
You can
in.
see like on top of the diamond, the Sims
Yeah, yeah,
diamond, you see
yeah.
a double plus.
Oh, I think I got like quadruple plus, man.
Yeah, no, three hearts. Yeah,
Yeah,
three hearts.
that's like I think that's really how I won her over. I took the bravery step. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Wow. Okay.
yeah. Congrats to young me. Yes, that was a.
Yes.
I will say this before we talk about date techniques. I feel like every first relationship will actually shape how you handle future romance. At least
Mm-hmm.
when you're young, because I feel like this first relationship kind of like kind of dictated how I handle a lot of like my relationships. She was
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very what do you call it? She was quite the into like the fantasy romance as well. So
Okay.
when I got hints of that, I realized, oh, I should just get her a bouquet of flower. That the very traditional like romance kind of like moments. And I decided to
Your
do it,
book talk
and
moments.
yeah. I mean, you don't always buy flowers on your first date, but
Yeah.
I figure she's the type who likes it.
Uh-huh.
So from there on, I realized like, oh, it's like understanding like people's like quirks and perks helps build a lot of like your first date build up and everything.
Okay.
It also kind of dictates my love language from this relationship.
Okay.
Everything, yeah. That's why like
So your
gifting.
love language is gifting, right?
I think it's like physical touch, gifting, and I can never remember the third one. The third one was changes, but the last time I remember it was word affirmation. Oh, quality time, quality time, quality time.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Okay.
one, that third option keeps getting swapped. But yeah, okay. So during this first date, and in hindsight talk now, God, I wish I knew things you should do. Most probably, what to say, what to talk, like just that first conversation. My God, trying not to make it so awkward has been like the last 4 years of my initial life when I was 14 onwards.
Really?
I was trying to figure out how to make that more interesting.
I see.
And
I like for me, if my date and I don't click, after the first date, it's just a no-go for me. It's
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a no-go for me. So like I wouldn't even bother putting in the effort to like follow up unless I really like how he looks.
true, true. So
Then it's like nah.
it's no, it's so right. That's why I was hell bent on like figuring out like, is there like really good like first date techniques? I
Okay.
found a few, and only recently, I think like last recent 8 years ago, I did
Uh-huh.
find something that's actually work.
Okay. Are we going to share with the
Of course, of
class?
course. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, I believe the first one I discovered: never do movie dates for your first dates.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Personally, and I think a lot of people agree, your first date is very important in establishing the way you communicate, the way you behave, and just figuring out like, you know, what makes you, right?
Oh, so it sets the status quo, basically.
Stay status quo, but it's also dating. People just forget, but it's actually dating is to figure out like how a person is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that if you're both just facing a giant screen for 2 hours, not communicating and just watching a show.
No, but I do have a counter argument to that. Like
Okay,
when
okay.
watching the movie, because
Mm-hmm.
like people like me, I like to talk about the movie afterwards. And with what my date or my friend, whoever it is that I watch the movie with what topics that we talk about, it kind of give me an idea of what the person is like.
Fair. Okay, then
Yeah.
let me change it a little bit. It shouldn't be the first thing you do in the first date.
Okay.
Mm.
Unless you're friends already, or what?
And still, I'm going through it now, but there needs to be a clear distinction between the friends and dating. I at least for
Okay.
me, I mean that feels very important, and it's an underrated comment. But I think this trying to separate that friend and dating It's quite important because you really want to establish what makes you both work in a relationship, or why
Mm-hmm.
the crushes can't exist aside from your heart, which, you know, it's a valid reason. It is a valid reason. I won't lie. Physical attraction is a very important feature for crushes. But yeah, I think
Yes.
getting to know a person is so important. And if the first thing you're going to do is stare at the screen, then it's a little hard to kind of connect, because then you're only going to talk about the movie, which could help. But I don't know. I think it's easier if you had dinner first, or like a meal together first,
Mm-hmm.
have the initial talk, and then maybe go for that movie. And
Well,
then
it seems like oh, sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, and then you have dessert and talk about the movie, which will help like
Okay.
elevate the whole thing.
So it seems like we are talking about first dates instead of first date techniques. So I can share my first dates. So like I think we are also in a very unique um position where you are speaking from a point of view of a guy and I'm
Oh,
speaking from a
okay,
point of view of a
yes, true,
girl.
true, true, true,
Because
true.
first dates usually I think for girls it's very important how the guy plans it. So it's actually very, very important as to like how how I think it's important to establish the relationship basically um on the dates in itself. So I have been to bad dates before.
Haven't we all?
I have been told that I am a very good flirt as well by my friends and my
Mm-hmm.
cousins, surprisingly. So my worst first date, I have two in my mind. One of them is a blind date that my cousin set me up, and this happened because, oh my gosh, it's so stupid. My one of my aunts, he was like talking to my cousins like, "Hey, you and Trixie are about the same age. Why don't you introduce one of your friends to Trixie?" And I was just like, "No way he's gonna do it." But then like me, um, you know how I am, so I just play along with it. I was like, oh
Sure.
yeah. At first, I just said like, nah, it's all right. You don't have to do it. But my brother was around, and my brother was egging my aunt on, and he said, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you should totally do it. You should totally do it. It's a good idea, and blah blah. And then, so that's that. It's done and dusted, and my brother and I were just never talked about it anymore. 2 weeks later, my cousin actually reached out to me and said, oh yeah, about that date. I'm like, oh, wait, what? And my brother said, I never thought that our cousin actually decided to arrange a date with their friend with you. And he's like, my brother was like, yeah, I thought like we were just like, fluffing about. We were just like, um, joking around, and it's just all jokes and fun and it's nothing real. So the date was there. It has to be delayed by a week or two because this guy was overseas in Spain for work. Um, so in the meantime, I was actually being quite nice. I was reaching out to him. I was texting him. I was asking him like, "How's your day?" and then "How's your work?" and "How's the weather like is in Spain?" Trying to create
Sure.
conversation.
Striking conversations, basically.
Yeah, and I was always the one who strikes the conversation, and that was like, okay, red flag number one, strike one.
Okay.
So
You see, just based on this story, you brought up like a very important reason why I was so hellbent on figuring out this like first date techniques
first
and
date
everything.
techniques,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, I don't know if you heard about this. Um, do you know about this 36 questions? I'm trying
No,
to.
I don't.
Okay. And you're not just saying that because you don't know about it, right?
No, I really don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I
Apparently,
swear to
apparently,
God.
apparently, I found this random article. I think it's by some doctor or some psychologist.
Okay.
I think it's Dr. Arthur Aaron. There's basically this 36 questions that leads to love. I'm sure you can look it up. I can actually put
Okay.
the link. I'll give it the link later. But there is this 36 questions. It's broken out into 3 sets. And if you can weave this question in your first date, it apparently excels the progression of your date in a more favorable way.
Okay. So I have two horrible first dates. So this first date, first horrible first date is like a, well, I suppose it's like a family friend in a way because my aunt knew about this guy and my cousin knew about this guy and everyone else, not everyone else, some of my extended family also knew about this guy. Um, so I was trying to talk to him and then he was not very responsive and I believe that in a relationship, not the guys don't always have to make the first move because it can be quite daunting. Not necessary, but it's like effort should go both ways. That's how I feel. But I don't feel the effort on his part. Like I was trying to create an opening for him, and he's always trying to shut it down. And I was just like, so again, that's my strike one. So
Wait,
when
that's
when
strike one?
we
No, that should be strike two, right? You said strike one was the he wasn't like being he wasn't taking initiative in conversation.
so that's strike one.
Oh, then being not taking the initiative is strike
Oh, so
two.
strike
Right, yeah,
two,
so it's strike
strike
two.
two
Yeah,
is
yeah.
is not responsive. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
agree. And then, well, this is a very shallow strike three. I think for me, it's a strike three for me. I wasn't really very like attracted to him, but then I'm not someone who is like super super um like physical attraction is not the first thing that I
Sure.
take importance in a relationship because I believe that when you're growing older or like things happen and then your looks can deteriorate at time as time goes
Sure.
on.
But this guy's on two
um
strikes, so he's not
yeah,
looking good
so
already.
when we met, he was, I don't remember if he's late or not, but he was like, oh, what do you like to eat? And I said, I don't know. Well, not no, I don't know. Um I'm not too fussed about it. And usually if so this is my take, and maybe you would disagree with me, but if someone is paying for the food, I don't like to dictate what I want to eat. So if you're paying for the food, even on a date, if you're paying for the food, you should be comfortable paying for the food that you want to treat the person. So you can
Oh,
bring me to a
okay, I
kopitiam,
understand.
you can
You're
bring me to
saying so basically you're
five.
saying
Yeah.
if I'm gonna pay for the dinner, I shouldn't complain about what I'm paying for.
No, not complain, but you should be comfortable with
Oh,
what you're
comfortable.
paying for.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure like when you're going on a date for guys or like for anyone when you're going on a date, you usually have like a budget set aside for yourself, you know? Like first date, you can't do sunk cost theory, you can't do all in, you can't put in all the chips in on the table as of now. Like you are just trying to like test the water. So I think that, well, the first date is usually the one that makes a very strong impression because as we said in the previous episode that first impression usually of someone is actually very important. It's usually made within like the first like 3 to
Yeah,
10
yeah.
seconds of meeting someone. So it's actually quite important to make a strong impression. And hence why I understand this like first date techniques that you have and all the questions that we have. So if someone asks me like, okay, like I wanna and he said like, oh, I wanna bring you to somewhere you would like to eat, then I was just like, oh, that's so sweet. So I just said, okay, you can never go wrong with Japanese for me. So he brought me to a sushi restaurant. And uh we met. He was nice and all. I don't think bought me he bought me like a last minute gift, I feel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like he told me like on his way back. Oh, okay, this is me judging because it's on hindsight. But at that point in time, it felt like he bought me a last minute gift because he was like, "Oh yeah, I got you something," and it was like it felt like he was already at that point. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to get this person something." But on that point in time, I thought it was quite sweet. Then after that, he gave me the bag for the present. I was just like, what is this lousy present gifting? Like, why are you giving me in a plastic bag?
Oh,
It's
it's in a
very
plastic bag.
unimpressive.
Oh,
They're
okay.
so unimpressive.
Yeah,
Those airport plastic bag that you can like
yeah.
recycle.
Okay,
disintegrate.
people
I
need
just
to know. You know what? Put this as a technique 1.5. If you're gonna have a last minute gift, you should also go to like those little stores. I don't know,
tell them to wrap
Marks
it
and
out. Give them,
Spencer. They
yeah,
only sell like those like packaging bags.
yes,
Just
yes,
it's
like
a
a
dollar.
gift,
It's a 50.
right?
It's 50
Yeah. So,
cents a dollar.
so,
Just get that.
so,
That's a tip. That's a
well,
freebie for people.
for people listening, I'm actually gesturing to Tim right now. So basically, the it's like a I think it's a nougat bar, or like imagine
It's
it's like a
food. It's
chocolate
basically
bar,
food, right?
chocolate bar
Yeah.
in a bag that you can put like an A5 A4 paper.
Sure.
So it's just like a small thing in a big bag. And I was
Uh,
just looking at it, so like strike tree, and then he's already like walking on very thin ice
Listen,
already. Okay,
I think
even
I'm
though the
gone on
place was
strike
good.
too. I think you're really resilient
I'm a
for a
very
first
nice
date.
person. I give
Okay.
three chances
Tree
before
is crazy.
before I put them on a chopping block.
Okay,
So
tree is crazy when all three the three examples you give are like pretty big, like
I know. No, and okay,
negatives, yeah.
so it continues. Okay,
Oh,
this is the worst ever first date I have. I'm so sorry to my cousin. I still see him in like gatherings and something like this guy. I still see this guy in family gatherings sometimes with my cousin, but I think like we are better off as friends. I don't think we can get together at all. Like as lovers, it's like a no way for me. So it continued. So when we sat down, and then my cousin after the date told me that my friend, no, not my friend, his friend got nervous, got super nervous to the point that he has nothing to say because he said to my cousin that I was so much more pretty than he thought I was from the pictures on Telegram. Because like if you look at my pictures, there's like a
he
few.
basically
So
effed
he's
up,
like,
right?
yeah. So he's like, she's so pretty, like she's so pretty to the point that I don't even know what to say. I'm like, okay. So
Not an excuse.
I was trying to make conversation, right? I was trying to make
Mm-hmm.
conversation with him. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to make conversation with him. So he just came back again. Important point of this story, he just came back from Spain. And I asked him, so how was Spain? He's like, it's Spain. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Where do you go to Spain? In
that's
Spain. I went to Madrid.
no
Oh,
go.
cool. Have you been to Madrid before? Is this your first time there? No, I've been there with family. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So when you've been there with family, what do you do? Uh, holiday. And it just went on and on and on like this. And I was just like, dude, you are not helping your own case. You are
Yeah.
not
See,
marketing yourself
I
well
think
at all.
you're actually walking into my amazing perfect technique, or at least the one I know that works, because he could have used this technique that I by this doctor's questions, because I don't know, like even if you're nervous or anything, it's almost like reading off a script. At least you have something.
Yeah.
Not being initiative in a conversation, I think it's one of the biggest turn off in a first date, I believe.
Yeah, and it's like, on the first date as well, it's like people trying to establish who you are and then trying to
Yeah.
see if we can go. If you're not gonna be interesting, that is not fun.
Not being
And he
interested is
was
one
so
thing. Not engaging shows that you don't care, and that's like I think the biggest insult. It's like, why are we wasting time? If you don't want to be here, let's just leave.
and like I think that he wants to really like try again because like he asked me like at 8 p.m. He asked me, "Do you want to get coffee?" And I'm just like, "No, I'm so sorry. Tomorrow I have to wake up early to work." And he's like, "Oh, don't you work at home?" I'm like, "Yeah, but if I drink coffee now, I'll not be able to wake up early." And then
Right.
so I went home. But
He
it's
he
just
tries
like,
to he's
yeah.
trying to retry, but he lost it. He lost it.
No, he completely lost it within the
Mm-hmm.
first 5 minutes when I was trying to ask him how was work in Spain.
You know
And
what?
I even asked him like, so what do you do? What's your work? Why were you sent there? And
Eh,
he's just giving me monotonous answer. I
yeah,
was just like, nah,
it's over.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know what? You say
And
you need 3 strike. I think the first strike feels like it really affected everything. I think.
I no, that's the thing, right? Because I think I'm very I'm very understanding in a sense that I understand that sometimes people are busy with life, and because he's also working overseas, I understand there's like time difference and things like that. And some people are not the kind of person that talks very well on text. So that was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna judge you based on that for that time. I'm just gonna see how you perform in real time as well. But obviously the performance was bleh, it was horrible.
I don't
So
know. Just
no, and
just based on
do
that
you know
paragraph you just said, I think that's too much excuse. Like
I'm so yeah, I'm very
like
nice. I'm
plan
really a very
not
nice
okay, not
person when
very
it
nice,
comes to
not just nice, but I feel like if you're gonna go the effort to spend one-on-one time with somebody and you're gonna act like that, I just feel like that's a very that's a problem within your, I don't know, like your personality or something, that you
yeah.
feel you, if you want to be tired, you can always be tired later, but you chose to dedicate this time to spend one-on-one with somebody, and then you chose to act that way.
But
I
see
feel
that's
that's a
where
fundamental problem in the way you bring, your EQ at least. It's like,
but that's
yeah.
where I think that's where a lot of misunderstanding also happens, right? Because like when we're talking about love languages,
Mm-hmm.
my love language is quality time and acts of service. Like when I did the test, they are both ranked number one, same number of points. So it's either or I can be either the easiest person to be with or the hardest person to be with because you have to either satisfy one
I
or
don't
you have to
know.
satisfy both.
I don't know if I
But that's
agree
not the
with
point.
you. It's a first
Well,
date. I feel like first
yeah,
date.
but for me, again, because quality time is so important for me, and he messed up in that quality time that I have with him because he's not giving the quality time I want. Because I'm sitting down here one on one with you, I want your full attention, and I felt like my attention is not being met
Yeah.
because of his
Which is
monotonous
why I
answer.
kind of
And
disagree
also,
with you, right? Like, it isn't that love language. This is the first date. This is your chance to, like,
yes, that's true, that's
right?
true.
It's like,
Your marketing pitch,
yeah, this
basically.
is your marketing pitch, and you effed out on so many levels. You can have like different love languages, and this is the best time to show what's your love language. But if staying silent means you don't want to show, which equals,
hmm
at least in my opinion, it shows you're not interested.
Well, that's that as well. And then there's
Yeah.
another thing. So as the time goes on, I try to like pick on different topics. There's my interests,
Mm-hmm.
that I know that it can also spark a lot of other people's interests. So I talk about education, I talk about like education in Singapore, and then I felt like he was also bragging in that part of of the thing because I remember we were talking about something we learned in primary school, and then he said, "Oh, but I don't learn that in primary school." I'm like, "Why don't you learn that in primary school? This is part of our syllabus." He said, "Oh, I'm in the gifted program. So like I don't do the same thing as other people." And then when I heard of it, because he's already on very thin ice already, right?
Yes.
So the moment he said that, I was just like, "You are so arrogant." Like he is like peacocking to me now right now. He was trying to boast, but it's not working because
It just sounds like he's
yeah,
trying to save
it's
face.
yeah, it's just trying to boast. Like,
Yeah.
you know. So that's
Well,
my
glad you
first
don't have to
horrible
deal with
date
him.
experience. Well, I still met him at my cousin's wedding, and then
Yeah,
because I
but
was the IC, so I actually had to talk to him.
yeah,
And
you
my
still
cousin was
meet your
like,
cousin,
"Do
but
I
you
have
don't
to?"
meet him, right?
Yeah, true. And then my
Yeah,
cousin
yeah.
was like, "Do I have to like move him away from you so that you guys, you know?" And I'm like, "No, it's not awkward, you know. It's just do what you have to do because if he's here for your wedding, let him be here for your wedding, you know." So that's that.
Okay.
Then there's another. I have a second horrible date. I met this guy on the apps, and then I was just like, there's this thing about like meeting a guy on the apps. Like you have to meet, I think, within the first 2 weeks, to firstly see if this person is real, and then also to see if this person is interested. Because if they don't meet you once you have a conversation going, then most of the time this person is like not interested in you. Apparently, something like that. But um so this guy was like, "Oh, do you want to meet? I want to bring you out for dinner." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we went to MBS, fancy futsy, artsy futsy, fancy pantsy place at MBS, Black Tab. He works in MBSC, MBFC, yeah. So it's walking distance to MBS. He was late for an hour for the
Oh,
date. And
tardiness.
he said, and that was my first, and it's like that first strike is almost like 3 strikes because I hate it when people are late. And we had this conversation with one of our mutual friends last week, a few weeks ago, about timeliness.
Oh,
Um,
right. Yes, we did. We
yeah,
did.
because I hate it. I was being brought up um again, my love language quality time, so time is very important for me, and I've been brought up with the idea that if you don't respect other people's, if you are late, that means you don't respect other people's time, and that's like a super big thing for me. And because of that, I was so angry because I confirmed with him the day before. I confirmed with him on 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 the day itself in the morning. And he's like, yeah, cool. And his reason as to why he was late is so stupid because it's I think the 1 week before Chinese New Year, or like it's day 7 of Chinese New Year or something like that. And then he's like, yeah, because I'm gonna go on holiday the next week. So everyone's trying to pull me to a meeting 1 hour before I'm supposed to end work. So I went into a meeting room and had meeting with all these other people. I'm like, okay, if you have meeting, then do you not have anywhere to look at the time? So I asked him like, oh, so do you not have any clocks in your company? And then he's like, oh yeah, but and he's not wearing a watch. Of all the things that he said that there's no clocks in the company, he's not wearing a watch, and that's like red flag again. So then I was just like, okay, so couldn't you just message me like why were you unreachable? And he said that, oh yeah, we're not allowed to bring our handphones into the company, so like we have to put our phones in a locker. And I was just like, huh? What
I
are you
on, I
talking
only
about?
heard of a few places you have to do that, and
In MBFC? You want me to believe that? You don't work in security.
no, it is
Huh?
possible. If it's security or defense or army, it is possible. I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not giving him the benefit of the
Oh,
doubt
okay.
because he's so rude to me. Okay, then there's that. And then the whole time he was complaining to me about his work. Which is
Oh,
already like he's
trauma
like, yeah,
dumping.
I'm trying to find like meaning of my work, blah blah blah. And then I was telling him what I work as, and then he's like, oh, your work has so much meaning, blah 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 blah, blah. All these things. Um, and then when we were queuing up, because Black Tap is known for their milkshakes, right? It's a American, like, you know, what's it called? Those like burger places in America in the middle of nowhere. It looks
Sure,
like
bullet
that with
joint.
like the
What
milkshake and
burger
stuff.
joints?
Burger joints, yes. So and they are known for their beef, right? Black Tap. So when we were queuing up for the food, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the milkshake. And I told him, well, my brother had been to Black Tap many times. It's one of his favorite restaurants, but he said the milkshakes are not worth it. It's just sugar overload. That's very Instagrammable, and that's all. It's not even nice. And
Right.
he's like, yeah, but Black Tap is known for their milkshakes. I'm like, yeah, but why do you want to waste calories on milkshake? Again, it was already 1 hour late. He was already 1 hour late. He didn't apologize. Well, he did apologize to me on text, but he didn't apologize to me face to face. And then he doesn't look remorseful. And I'm someone who gets hangry. So also I was very hangry. so so I was already so mad, right? And he didn't even do anything to calm me down. Again, this is the first date, okay, first date. And when we sat down, we were ordering things, and then he's like, "Oh, do you have any dietary restrictions?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I don't really have any dietary restrictions, but I don't really there's some foods that I don't really like to eat, so I try to avoid them." And he's like, "What do you not like to eat?" And I said, like, one of the things I can think of at the top of my head are garlic. And this idiot, this person, this horrible man child said to me, "What? You don't like garlic?" how can anyone in the world not like garlic? That's so ridiculous. Da, 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 da. So he went on making fun of me not liking garlic. I'm like, okay, fine. Then I was just like, oh,
How's it no?
so what about
You saying fine to that is crazy. You should have been
I was
like,
no, you know what I did as a revenge? I ordered the most expensive thing on the menu and the most expensive drink on the drinks menu.
oh,
Yeah. And he has to pay for it. So then after that, yeah, I and I didn't even finish my food because I was so angry, and I was so angry I have gastric, and so then after that he was like saying yeah, I'm like quite health conscious, like I don't really like to eat. No, he didn't say. Oh, he said that I don't really like to eat sweets and stuff, so like I don't eat Maggie mee, because that is not healthy, and I'm like, okay, fine, guy takes care of himself and fine. And when the guy came over, he ordered the sweetest milkshake in the menu, chocolate milkshake, and he's like, and I told him like, are you sure you want this? Because it's not nice and it's super sweet. He's like, yeah. How sweet can a milkshake be? Okay, fine. I ordered my own drink because I can't be bothered sharing drinks with him. And then in the menu, he's like, "Is there any non-beef options in the menu?" And then it's black tap. It's beef burgers, but okay. He asked for a non-beef alternative. So after he did the order, I asked him, "Oh, are you not eating beef because of religious reason or what? What's the reason as to why you're not eating beef?" And you know what this idiot told me? I don't like the taste of beef. And I was so angry because 20 minutes before, he was making fun of me for not liking the taste of garlic.
yeah, the hypocritical.
I know. I just hit my plush toy on the table for the viewers at home. I was so angry, like, oh my god. And this is not the end. At the end of it, when he called for the bill, I think he got shocked because I ordered the most expensive thing on the
Right.
menu, right? And he's like, wow, we eat so much, it's so expensive. And I'm like, okay. I was just like, okay, fine. So I told him, if you don't want to pay for it, I can pay for it. I can pay for my share. And then he's like, no, 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 it's okay. No, so his pride got in the way, right? He's like, no, 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 it's okay. I'll pay for it. And then after he said, yeah, oh, dinner was like $1,000. And out of the $1,000, 90% is from you. I'm like,
He paid for it, but he made a bitch about it, basically.
yeah.
Uh,
And on my way home, and he's still like, he stays in the east, right? You know what this idiot told me? He told me that there's nothing interesting in the east.
oh,
And me
I
being
don't
a
like him
Westie,
anymore.
being a Westie, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I didn't use that tone. I told him like, but all my friends from the east all said that the east is very happening. There's a lot of good food. He's like, yeah, but there's not much good food in the east. And I'm like, bye. I'm just here to eat the expensive meal and I'm not gonna finish it out of spite because I'm also very angry. So yeah. I've come down.
Yes. Very.
This is my horrible second.
You know what?
My second horrible first date.
I'll say this. These people, they should listen to the 32T podcast for advanced techniques on first dates, because I was gonna, when you're going through a story and I'm looking at like the methods and the technique I discovered, I'm like, my God, I'm so glad I didn't do all this. And like, to hear your story is to like hear I guess the what if I did do it or behave this certain behavior. It's crazy that some people think this is okay behavior, or okay behavior isn't the right thing. I think
Yeah.
they imply this is actually gonna progress the relationship.
It's crazy, right?
I think it's pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, I actually have like a first date technique. Well, that people like guys told me. So I was on this first date with this guy that I really liked, and we were kind of like dating for a few weeks before we kind of broke off. He told me that when he was in uni, he asked his dad for money to buy a top for his first date.
Right.
With this girl, and then the dad was like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, just buy a red shirt because red, is a color that makes people instantly like you. So you need to buy a red shirt. So he bought a red shirt. And that day he was wearing a black shirt, by the way. So I asked him like, so how did it work out for you? And he's like, well, I'm still single, so didn't work. Like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. So that's that. Another one of
Wait,
our
what's the
mutual
technique for the
friends.
first one? Buy a good shirt?
No, wear a red shirt
Red
to the first
shirt?
date because red. Yeah, apparently. So this is why a lot of the fast food restaurants, their logos are in red because like McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, because apparently based on marketing like color theory, the color red help what's it called? Like it grabs the attention to people.
Oh.
And then so it makes you attention grabbing. So like the attention will be on you.
Oh, really? I just thought
Yeah.
because it's the color that people use for hearts and romance, so that's why it's one of the more thematic colors. But I guess it could be spin as that too, right?
Yeah. And another first date technique that I don't think it worked very well. It's with one of my ex. We both know this guy. And he was like telling me like, yeah, I've always asked you out for dinner and you you never said yes. And again, this first date technique I think is very unique to um situations where these two people are already friends. So he was actually
Oh,
trying
okay.
to ask me out for like dinner one-on-one. But then didn't work because like I don't eat dinner outside. I usually eat dinner with my family because it's the only time that everyone's eating together.
Right.
So he when we were in school, he thought that I was just blowing him off. Like, it was just like I was not interested. I was not interested because I'm also like I didn't know that he liked me and he was trying to ask me out on a date until like 5 years later that we actually we're actually dating. I was just like, oh, so you were actually trying to ask me out, and he's like, yeah, but you were not receptive. And I'm like, yeah, because I really actually had to go home for dinner. And then he's like, yeah, actually, I do know that it's true right now. But at that point in time, I thought that you were just trying to like find a way to gently let me down.
Right. I believe my technique is basically holding down the conversation part because I feel like that's honestly the way you want to win your first dates. And your amazing stories
Yeah.
are proof why conquering the conversation is important. There's a lot of boring questions out there like, oh, how's work?
Mm-hmm.
Or, what do you do for a
What do you
living?
do? How much do you earn?
Yeah. Oh, do you even ask those? I don't think it's
No, I
good.
don't.
No.
I don't really ask those.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw questions at you, and you're gonna see if
Okay.
they are
Hit me.
amazing, right? Okay. I think I'll.
Okay, hit me.
Yeah. So my favorite question actually to ask in during first dates is actually, what's your perfect day for you?
Oh, oh wow.
Mm,
That is a good first date question.
yeah.
Perfect day for me. It would be,
But
this
okay, you
is
don't
very
really
boring
have
if
to
I
answer if
say
you don't want
sleeping at
to.
home. Well, it would be sleeping at home, but if it's like on a
Oh,
date
sorry. I like
date.
to add the line. What's your perfect day for you? And you cannot say sleeping all day because if that's the only
Well,
answer you say, that's a strike three for me.
I like to if I'm alone, it's sleeping at home. But if I'm with a date, I like to go to museums because I think the art pieces that someone like talks really about how they are and their outlook of the world. And
Wait, this
that's a
is with a
very like,
date, right?
sorry, what?
This is you with a
My
date.
ideal first date.
No,
Yeah,
the
my
question
ideal
is
first
about like the perfect day for you.
perfect day.
Yeah. What do you consider a perfect day?
Oh,
Yes, that's the
well,
question.
I would like to go out, go to a cafe and read,
Mm.
drink coffee, really good coffee, and just walk around
Okay. See
alone.
how that one question gave you three important facts about the person? See, it's all the best,
So
and you can
okay,
continue the conversation.
what does my answer tell you about myself?
Oh, okay.
Because that's why you're asking questions in the first
Yes,
date,
yes.
right?
And based on your answer, right? So
Hmm.
you like to go out to find a cafe. That already tells me you're a kind of person who looks for a place, a change of venue. So that means you're open to, like, finding new places to explore for,
Okay.
food or drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Reading
Fully.
alone
Okay.
signifies you need alone time. So that
Oh
means
yeah,
you're the
that's
kind of
true. That's
person who
true.
cannot
I live in my own
constantly,
world.
yeah, you cannot constantly be around people or around
Uh-huh.
stressful environment. I think that's the other one I'll see. And
Okay, okay.
coffee, well, coffee is I think the most obvious one that you have like a thing for coffee.
Addiction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that opens more doors, right? Like if you're into coffee, then you can double down there. Like if you make your own, if you ground your own beans, that's a whole topic you both can explore.
Oh, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Reading
Okay.
alone, if you're into literature, that's like avenues to talk about. I'm telling you, these 36 questions are bangers.
Occasionally, I like to go to a museum, and I can spend a whole day in the museums, especially
See?
like in the UK or like, well, oh my gosh.
Immediate question, follow up question, I'll be like,
Mm,
oh, what kind of museums? And then you see, it opens up the door. Instead of,
mm,
well, what do you do
mm,
for a living? Oh, I
mm.
don't know, business. Oh, what kind of business you do? Accounting. As a
I
person
I've
who,
I've been to so I've been to a blind date that I actually really did enjoy the first date, and our conversation was so organic that it was so nice. And when we were on the second date, it's when the guy actually brought out all these questions because he was telling me like, oh yeah, 2 days ago I was at a wedding and I was asking my friends what I should be asking
you know
on
what?
the
I will
first
never
date.
give I will never give shit for people who ask around like what they should do at dates because at least they're trying to figure out how to like make the date more
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
But listen, I think I believe I told you before. I went through like this year of blind dating, and then halfway through, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna test these questions. I'm just gonna really
Okay.
just ask these questions at dates, and it actually kind of works. It made conversations
Okay.
so much more meaningful. The other one I like to ask is like, if you would like to be famous would you like to be famous, and if yes, in what way? And it kind of just helps break down like,
So for that question, I'm interested as well.
oh yes.
What's the answers that you have um received before? Because I'm assuming yes, you want to be famous, and
Mm,
usually what kind of fame do you want to be,
yeah.
or
I,
what do you want to be known for? And then what do you get for the people for that the answers no?
Right. Well, actually, I twist the question in a way where you must be famous. I'm just reading off like the
Mm-hmm.
list right now because I don't actually memorize these questions. But I think the way I did it was, okay, if you had to be famous, what way would it be? And then
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there are people who still tell me, no, I don't want to be famous. And from that line, I understand like, okay, this person does it's there's this weird humble um attitude of like trying not to reach out.
No, but that's not true because I don't want to be famous. And the reason why I don't want to be famous is because I don't want to be in the spotlight. Like the spotlight stresses me.
Yeah, which is why I twist the question by saying like, if you have to be famous, what would it be? Because the main
If you
point isn't
have to
about being
be,
famous;
right,
it's about
okay.
like if you had to be, what would it be, right? So if people still
Yeah.
resist the question, to me, it just shows like, okay, you are a person who is not very, either not very ambitious or you're not very open minded to things that you
That's
cannot.
not true.
It's not true, but it's like when you try to carry this as a conversation and you're not willing to carry the conversation, it's like, okay, it's meant to be a fun question, but if you're not gonna go
Right.
beyond that, then it's starting to show. But it's like the
Okay,
perfect day. I
okay.
ask you what's a perfect day, and you say, no, I don't have one. So these questions also helps start filtering out a lot of like these kind of people who are
Right.
a bit too not interested in playing along, which there has been.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
this question actually roots out those as well, surprisingly. Oh, the famous thing. I think the most popular one is writing, like writing a
Oh,
book. Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
this is me as a guy asking a lot of girls, and for some
So
reason, I guess the five
what
girls I know said
would
writing.
you be famous for, Tim?
Oh, games.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like because I do. I'm working as like a game dev, so I want to be
Right.
famous for a
Okay.
game. I don't think it's like.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and because I'm very creative. See, and then that's where I'll be like, oh, I'm very creative. I like to like, create content for others. Blah 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 blah. All that. So it helps me break down myself for the person to understand. Yeah. So see, I'm
Right.
telling you, these
Okay.
questions they're amazing. I
Hmm.
think I got so bored and want a date. So the next date I went to, this blind date, so it was like a monthly thing. I told myself, I'm just gonna ask purely from this list. I will never like deviate.
Okay.
I can have some follow ups just to make it like not so obvious, but I will keep asking these questions. And you know what?
Yeah.
That
What
was like the
was it?
closest person I got to.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Because I think what happened was maybe because the person was a bit more receptive, but
Mm-hmm,
she just
mm-hmm.
kept we just kept talking. We could not stop talking until we didn't realize the restaurant was closing, and we're like, oh okay, we gotta find like
Oh,
a dessert place. And I think our food wasn't like moving as much.
I love that kind of dates. Like
Yeah.
that's the second blind date I went to. I was telling you that it was so nice that we were the only one in the restaurant, and it helped because the person that introduced both me and the guy knew the owner of the restaurant, so the owner really gave us a lot of time in the restaurant, and he was like standing there, and I was just telling the guy, I was like, oh, yeah, I think we should leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So all of the people out there, I think the main
Hmm.
important technique is really improving how you ask the questions. At least that's the
Okay,
technique
okay.
that seems to work really well. It's just you don't you you know what, if you want to refer to this, I believe it's by Dr. Arthur Aaron. You can use these questions as your base, and I think you should get somewhere in your first dates. You have to
Okay.
make it natural. I think that's the key thing. You don't sound like you're reading off a script.
Right.
But yeah, like look, the set
Okay.
two questions you have like what do you value most in a friendship? So that's like
I
the second
think,
layer.
yeah, I think in a girl's point of view, because I think that a lot of the stress for the first dates usually are on guys. From a girl's point of view, my biggest green flag on whether I think a date is going well or not is if the guy makes me laugh and if the guy laughs at my jokes. Because I think my jokes are quite dry and it can be very dark as well. I have a very British humor, so I
Mm.
can be very sarcastic. But if anyone gets my joke, or can follow up and like kind of challenge me and have a very good conversation with me, I think that is already a very good green flag. You don't really need to
Yes.
prepare, I think, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to get to know each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? To see if anything can happen, a partnership can happen to among these two people who are
Yep.
strangers,
And that's
you
cool.
know.
That's cool to know. I think it's good to know that's like one of your let's call it side adjectives in the first
That's my
dates.
main quest.
I guess main quest, right? Yeah, yeah. I have a side adjective when I go for first dates.
Okay.
I cannot leave the table, or at least the date must go on where I must able to make her laugh at one of my jokes, or like one of my
Oh,
like what you call it? I guess like comedic timing
okay.
naturally. I don't know. It's because I know I believe I'm quite a funny person, so I feel like I have challenged myself to like okay,
Right.
gotta make her laugh
I
naturally, and I can't force it.
I remember like oh my gosh, I'm so sad that nothing happened from this date, but like my favorite first date ever was from this guy that was again it's that guy that was a blind date. It was introduced by my friend's mom. Because after we left the restaurant because it's closing, right? Um his house is actually nearby the restaurant. So we went to his house to chill a bit more. It was very nice. We were listening to like vinyls and everything. But on the way back, I have this very bad habit. I think it's a bad habit. My friend thinks that it's a bad habit, but I have a habit of looking up to the sky because I really like to look at the sky. I look at clouds. I like to look up for stars or the moon at night. So I was looking at the sky and I saw the moon. I was just like, oh my gosh, the moon is so nice. And he's like, oh yeah, I just got a telescope. And I was just like, oh, cool, because I used to have a telescope when I was really young. And then we were just talking about telescope, and then he was like saying things. And then he was like, yeah, it's not that expensive, that telescope, but then, at least that telescope doesn't have an 8 or above, H8 or above on the box. And I was just like, I find it so funny because I used to have a telescope again. And then I said, dude, the telescope, no, he said 7 or above. And I said, no, dude, the telescope that I have is for 8 and above. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I guess mine is 1 9 and above. And that made me laugh so much. Like our humor matched.
I think that's really
Yeah,
cute.
but
I think
I
that's really
know,
cute.
but too bad there's nothing that actually came out
Uh,
of that relationship. So yeah,
yeah.
I still look back to that relationship quite
Do you know
often
why it
because
didn't
it
work
was
out?
quite yeah. Why?
You didn't ask one of the 36 questions.
Oh no, woe is me. I should have done more.
Yeah. All right. So why this? I guess this episode is quite themed. So I
Mm,
think we have a big hot take about something.
what's the hot take, Tim?
This is quite an old hot take. I think my opinion about this has changed. But basically, I believe I asked somebody this before. And it goes with: do people want honesty in dating, or is it just reassurance?
Mm-hmm.
And where this came from, I believe, was there was a lot of doubt in how people handle dating, and including first dates. I think this applies to first date most. I think, like, do you want to be honest, or do you just want to make sure whatever you say kind of build you up in the right direction, right? Like that first impression.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have asked, like, oh, you have to be honest, you have to be like real when you're dating, or rather, it just means like people are just reassuring the situation rather than being honest. So
Okay.
I guess that's the hot take. It's like, do people want honesty in dating, or is it just a reassurance?
Okay, since you asked this question, Tim, so
Mm.
do you want what's your stance in your hot take?
Okay, my hot take is basically it's all reassurance. It's
Okay.
because I feel like people can lie. People say they don't lie, but they may unintentionally lie because they want to feel comfortable, right? I think at the end of the day, the goal is to feel comfortable. So I think a lot of people people don't like conflict in their relationships or when they're dating. So they want to ensure and reassure that everyone is in the correct mind of state. And
State of
sometimes,
mind.
yeah, state of mind. And sometimes, they'll lie just to get to that first. Then they'll go
Hmm.
through that honest talk. At least that's my
Okay.
hot take.
So your hot take is for first dates or the relationship as a whole?
I think it applies to both because I think first date is
Mm-hmm.
when people want, if anything, I think during first date, while people are honest half the time, they also tend to prop themselves up because you don't even know if the story is true or not,
Yes,
right?
true. I have a different take from you. So I
Go for
think
it.
for first takes, like you're right in saying for first dates, people are usually trying to sell themselves.
Yeah.
But I think, at least, well, for me, I value honesty. Well, I think there's a fine line between honesty and reassurance
Mm.
because there are times that, at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is you have to do good by your partner. So what does this mean is that you've always want to do the right thing for your partner. So if it means to be honest and say something that your partner doesn't want to hear at the point in time because they're really wrong, and it's only right to tell them what exactly the situation is happening, or what the correct or not correct, but to honestly like recount the situation rather than to let them live in a delusion. I think there's that. And there's also the reassurance where, they know that they have messed up things. I think when someone has already messed up and they know where they've gone wrong, they already felt really bad already with their mistakes. And I think in those situations, um, it's better to just reassure and then say that, yeah, I know you have done everything, you have know what's wrong, but what's done is done. So what can we do now? It's just to move on. If you can still change the outcome of the things, then we can just try to do something to make things better. But you have already done what you can at this point in time. And so I think there's a very fine line between honesty and reassurance in dating. And when it comes to first date, I think you should be the most honest in your first date. No, why do I say this is because it is the first date. People are more forgiving if you are making mistakes. So it's like you are in a honeymoon phase, right? And whatever thing thing you are, like whatever mistakes that you have presented yourself, or whatever flaws that you have presented yourself in the honeymoon phase and even in the first date phase, people are a lot more forgiving if they like you. And that's sometimes when the relationship progress. I don't know about you, but for me, I've always seen people, and I've experienced it myself, where the partners, like the people in the relationship, said, "You're not like that when last time. You're not like that last time. You weren't like that last time when we first started dating. You were so nice. You were so giving." Yeah, but people are putting on a facade, so people always think back then, and I think in the start you really have to, like, in a way, to draw your boundary and to set the status quo that you are this kind of person. You show, not to say you show the worst side of yourself, but you show the most honest side of yourself, so that the person that you're trying to impress, or the person you are just got together with, knows, like, has the most accurate information to deal with you in the future. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm think I'm want to clarify. I'm not saying you should not be honest, but I think a lot of people
They mask themselves, they present themselves a better light, and I think that's okay.
better like is one
But
thing, but no one wants a conflict, especially in your first date. So, well, honest is fine. But sometimes I don't know. It's like trying to earn that brownie points, right? Do you be super honest, or do you try to like build up?
what I meant by honesty is, like, for example, on the first date, going back to that second horrible date I just recounted, if I don't like garlic, I just hold my stance. Even that guy is like the hottest guy. He's like stylist but reincarnated in real life, right? And if he's making fun of me for not liking garlic, I will just walk away. I don't care how rich he is. I don't care how hot it is.
The guy could have some reassurance in that rather than honesty, because that right there was pure honesty.
No,
And
but he's not honest. He is making fun, I feel. And okay.
no, it's not okay. No,
No, so
that
so
behavior
that's
is
the
not
thing,
okay.
right? So
Yeah.
so that's the thing, right? When I meant by honesty, I'm glad that he showed me this, rather than he's being reassuring and tell me, like, yeah, it's okay that you don't like garlic, and blah blah. Because I don't want it to be like 2 or 3 months down the road when I actually don't eat garlic, and then his that personality pops up. It will be so much more disalarming for me, rather than seeing this as a first date.
Oh,
Because I
okay,
know that
okay,
he's
I
like that,
understand.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know people who I've seen and known people, um where they were like super, like, gentlemanly,
Mm,
like, he's like a dream, um but 2 or 3 months down the line, it's almost like 180 degrees flip of personality. Like, I don't know who this person I'm dating, but you're already, like,
invested in it.
sometimes, yeah, like sometimes even like a year into it, and you're so invested into it, right? Or like, another thing that I've seen very often, it's like the the partner changed immediately after they got married, after that two couple got married. Then do you want the honesty straight up from the beginning, or do you just want the reassurance? Because I rather have the honesty. Because imagine this person was reassuring you all this time, and then the moment you sign the paper and then they tie you down, they've completely changed, and it's almost like they're an abuser or something like that. And
Hmm.
and it's just very disalarming, and you feel gaslight. And I feel that that's how a lot of people got domestically abused, because they are reassured all the time instead of being
Okay.
faced with the honest truth of the person.
Yeah, I believe I'm on your side when it comes to there needs to be a fine balance, because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I personally don't like too much honesty, especially on a like first date. It kind of ruins. I guess for me, I'm a little bit more romantically hopeless. Is that a term? Yes. So I want a little bit of, like the glitter and the fantasy in the first date. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
want that raw 100%.
But imagine if this person is honest, is raw, and you still feel that glitter and fantasy on the first date. Isn't
Mm,
that great?
no, I think it's quite impossible, because you want a little bit of that. You want a little bit of that chivalry fakeness in your first date. In my opinion,
I
this is
don't.
just me.
Because I can't stand fakeness. That's me.
Oh,
My personality is like,
fakeness is the wrong word. I think I'm just trying to get like I want people to be a little bit nicer on the first date, or I want them to be a bit more presentable. And I think that's
yeah.
kind of important to me because it just feels like it shows that you are willing to put up this facade for the sake of the date. And to me, that actually shows effort in terms of like, like you want to take this seriously, or you want to like really see where this goes. And then you
I
can be
think
more honest like the
way
next date
I,
onwards.
I think the way that you phrase it is not it's not the best way of phrasing it. I know what you mean by like you want to put in the effort for the first date, like you want to
No,
show your first date that you want to put in effort.
I want a person to play up a little bit of a character on the first date for the sake of trying to be presentable. Like if you're not
Ah,
usually polite, but you came to the date extra polite, something like on that line, and then you go on the next few dates, and then they slowly strip this facade out. And I think that's the
right,
fun part of going through multiple dates is really stripping down that person, like a person's personality.
right.
Because to me,
I'm
I think that's
glad we are
how you
friends,
really learn
Tim.
about somebody.
I'm glad we are friends because I can't stand it.
I'm not
No,
saying you have to
like
be
I no,
super
but
fake.
but for me that's really fake. Like if you're not the most polite person, but on the first date you are being extra polite, that is being super fake for me.
I think for me, it's more of you can be like the most unpolite person, but if that person decides to be super polite to you on your first date, and the next few days, he actually chooses to remain this personality to you, to me, it shows like they're willing to like change the ideology to kind of fit you in the world. And I think it's very interesting to see that happen. Whether or not I like
Okay.
that facade later broken is another thing, but I think that's the fun part of like
I think that's the
dissecting a
difference
person.
between you and I have very strong morals. I have very strong like feelings, I suppose. I just like my
Hmm.
moral compass is very strong. I can't stand that. That is a red flag for me.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah, it's not even a red flag. It's like a non-negotiable. So if that happen, I'll break it off immediately with that person.
Interesting.
And there are things that at that point in time it's not the right thing to do to be that honest. Cause like imagine someone it's like this is a very extreme scenario, but if someone got essayed and then you're like, yeah lah, see, you wear that outfit, you're asking for it. It's like,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
Reassure
firstly,
first. I think that's
why are we blaming the female?
yeah.
That's the first thing. Secondly, I think at the point in time when someone is so distraught, first thing is maybe reassure the person first,
Yes.
settle their feelings, that their emotions calm down because it's such a traumatic experience, right? Um, and then if it's really the person's fault, then we can
Mm.
look at how we can do better from
I think
from
that's what I'm trying to get at.
going forward.
Like
Yeah.
I want to see that behavior. Like what is your first instinct to react? Is it pure honesty or is it just reassurance? Yeah, I probably worded it really weirdly.
Because I was just going my follow-up question to that. So, do you think I've answered your question? Like, how have I fallen in your spectrum of am I too honest or have I played the fine line of
Oh, I love how you're
honesty and
testing our
reassurance?
friendship with all this.
Yeah.
You are. Oh, the problem is, I know you play you enjoy playing the game too, the social game too. So it's a bit weird, but I think you
Okay.
are really good at reassurance. I'll put it as that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought
you
you were
can be
going to say
really
that I'm
honest,
very
but you
honest.
don't. No, you can be honest, but you don't. You have too much empathy.
Oh, thank you. I thought
Yeah.
like just now in that interaction, I was actually being too honest.
Well, because you're close to me, I think that's the problem with. That's why I say you're testing our friendship because it's like I think you're
Mm-hmm.
close enough where you can just bluntly tell me stuff, which in
Mm-hmm.
itself you kind of know. I can tell when someone's being reassuring me versus being honest.
Yeah.
But I think you
I
have too much empathy, especially with your two stories. You have
right.
too much empathy in first dates. You know, or at least your
I just
stories.
I
Yeah.
just want to point out your blind spots because
No, it's
I feel
fine.
like sometimes
Oh,
you
I
don't
love it. I love being called out for my certain aspect. Because no one will tell me directly what's wrong with me unless I give the signal to people that it's okay to just call it out.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people still don't. But yeah,
But isn't
so
that what it means to like have birds of feathers flock together? Because you're kind of a very reassurance person.
me?
Yeah, I mean, you are the kind that you are the one that prefers more reassurance compared to
Oh, yes,
honesty
yes,
because it's
yes.
like the good vibes, don't want to make things awkward for people. And because of that, hence why you are also more attracted or you surround yourself with the same kind of people. I think I'm probably one of the more um controversial friend in your friend group because I feel
Really?
like I will actually call you out when it comes to it.
Okay, if you're talking about now, I think you are top 10 controversial friend.
Yeah.
Not because it's anything bad, but I think your honesty sometimes can hurt certain people. But the thing
Yes.
is, you don't. You're not one because you don't. You have too much empathy, so that's why you're maybe number
Mm,
10. But if I want to add you
thank
to the
you.
list of people I used to have, I think you're like 30.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I had really blunt people and I had really rude people as friends.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
I
but if we're
see.
talking about now, I think top 10, because for some reason we surround ourselves with very what's the word we use? Fragile and fragile people, mentally unstable people. Let's put it as
That's
that.
okay.
So yeah, so people like us are very dangerous around those kind of people because we can shatter the reality anytime. We are too
That is
honest for them.
topic for another podcast. Because we're actually coming out.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Time. We come to the end of 32T. Another
Yeah,
episode.
but
Today is a bit
let
longer.
us know. I'm gonna put a poll on Spotify and let us know. Do you want people to be honest in dating or just reassuring to you, give you a reassurance or a delicate fine line of both? So give us the tea. What do you prefer? Just let us know. And thank you for joining.
Yes.
I hope you have enjoyed the podcast. And if you do enjoy the podcast, please like.
Yes, and post all your hot takes. Remember to post your hot takes because we.
Give us all your hot takes,
Yes,
your hot
yes.
tea, your herbal tea, your Darjeeling tea, whatever tea.
It'll be funny if you agree with some of the hot takes you guys give, and I think I'm excited for those. So
Yeah.
yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.